By default, Angular checks every component every time something happens, like click, HTTP call, timer, every time. But with the change detection strategy on push, Angular only updates your component when you tell it. Or it could be on input change, event fire, or manually we need to trigger it only. Sounds like a lot of work, right? But here is the magic. When you use a signal, Angular watches their value for you, and whenever the signal changes, Angular automatically marks that component for update. No extra code, no manual, detect the change. So in this video, we will uncover how signal on push give you perfect balance between manual control and automate update. Let's jump the coding part of it. So in the last video, we understand Angular signal, writable and readable signal. That is the computed signal. So to understand on the push how the signal will be behave, we will create a new component, that is on push component. ng generate SQL component, and on this is the new component, and this component we will use into app component, that is over here, and then we will use this selector HTML of app component. So in the push component, we'll create a signal variable. So these are the two signal variables that has the string and integer value. To prove, we need to add change detection also, and this will be the push only, and we can write down nm change detection strategy on push. Okay, now we will create a functions like update signal, and there we will update the value of the signal. We can create this one also fine. So we are updating the signal property. One is through the set function, another is the update functions. Okay, and as you remember, if you work on the Angular earlier like 16, 17 and other version also, and then you found it, if you use this property on push, then if you need to change any property, for example, I just wanted to change this property, and I have another function, for example, update is a function, and to write down inside it, then what I need to write down, I need to use the change detection reference. And how we are using earlier, we are using through the constructor. Now we can use through the inject function also, and if we need to use through the inject, we can write down CDR change detection reference. That means inject, and this is correct. We can add the import statement of it. This CDR we can use it, and this we can use CDR mark for check, or we can use the another property is detection change. So these are the two manual function, detection change and the mark for check, by which manually we will trigger the change detection. So we can use either of them, and this is the way. So this is the way earlier we are using to update the template. Template means if this property we are using on HTML, but now we have the signal, and we don't need to require the CDR and everything. This is without this is also can possible. If any value of the signal will be changed, then automatically Angular will take care. Angular will understand I need to run change detection manually because the signal is changed, and now I will reflect the changes on a HTML part of it. Okay, so let's write down the HTML part of it also. So here we are writing down this is this. So this is the signal value, and on clicking on this function, we will trigger it. That meaning is this. Okay, one last thing is I need to add some CSS. That is also okay. Now let's run it, and this search minus. Okay, so now this is on browser. So here, this is when I will click update signal. So you can see this UI is also updating. All these things possible just because of signal property. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. In next video, we'll learn about the effect, how signal value change. Then we can actually use it in effect, or we can just write down the log or subscribe for some other purpose. Okay, see you guys in the next video.